Yeah. Okay, what's up, guys? What's up, Rossonari? We're live here today to talk about football. So, not just AC Milan, but in general, transfer market and what's going on in the world at the moment. And we are with Anwar here and Rohit. First of all, Anwar, how are you, man? It's been so long and I cannot hear you. Nah, nothing, man. Just show that shirt to the people over there, man. Your sound is completely gone. Anyway, Rohit, how are you, man? I know you
I'm
have to
fine,
go
lad.
in a bit.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I would love to address something about our channel because the last live we did, it was kind of a mess, a lot of fighting, a lot of, I would say, um,
Insulting.
unpolite confrontation. So, not respectful enough. And I just want to make sure that in this channel, this is a safe place to talk about football. And I don't want people to fight with each other, to be disrespectful or rude with anyone. I really want this place to be a channel where we can come together and talk about football, talk about AC Milan, and escape a bit about our life and talk about something we enjoy. And it's nice to actually have different ideas and actually uh, disagree in a lot of things, because disagreeing helps to actually improve your point of view, improve your vision in any field in your life. Uh, but you always need to be respectful and respect the idea of the other people. So please just be nice with each other. Just avoid being rude, and it's nice to with a bit of banter, but not. I mean, there is some boundary in anything we do, and we need to remember that there is young people here, but there is even grown up ass people that we have a real life and real problem. So I'm not coming here to listen to people uh, doing saying stupid things and being rude with others. And Anwar, man,
Can you hear me now?
now I can hear you, man. And show us
Loud
the
and
shirt,
clear.
please.
So the shirt I got, it was a bet against some of my friends, and I was the only guy who actually voted for Italy to win the Euro. So I'm glad to present you with the gift I received, guys. So I ordered this guy's the man of the moment, and I believe that he deserves. Honestly, I think he deserves to be our captain for next season. Um, and I've been
Yeah.
thinking this since last season, to be honest, before the Ericsson moment.
No, that's true. That's true. I believe what you're saying, man. And I want to say something about you, Anwar. We met each other in this channel disagreeing about something. You remember
Yeah,
about
exactly.
who was the most difficult league in the world, you know? And somebody was saying Premier League, which I understand because there's a lot of money, a lot of competition there. So I don't mind putting the Premier League on the top of that list. But I think that Serie A is the second place, and we disagreed about that. And as I was saying before, disagreeing and having different opinions is important, and that is fine. Just guys, be respectful with each other. No,
Sure.
no disrespect, no being rude. Anyway, we are all AC Milan supporter. We all love football. And what the fuck? There is just 6 people watching us, but those 6 people are amazing. And I can
No
see some
pressure for
comments here. Hi guys, how's it going? I know they don't like my face, but who cares? I mean, if
you
my
know,
face was high, then we will be more than 6 feet. All right, see. So I want to say hi to everyone that actually is following us. Skrillard, do you want to come in, man? Do you
yeah.
want to say something? Let me put the link here. Let's see. Maybe Skrillard wants to say something about Krunic. he's always, he's always talking about Krunic. But anyway, so let's start this talk. I want to just first of all put something. I want to talk about that mess and all the fighting during the live. Even when we have more people, I want to remember that to the people, because It's really important. I want this channel, me and Roy and I, we want this channel to be a fun place, a safe place. So what we have here. So a lot of things is going on right now in the transfer market. Crazy stuff. We started like 2 months ago with experts saying that no big transfer is going to happen this summer. Like it's gonna be a quiet summer for the transfer market. I feel like it's going crazy. It's going really crazy, at least outside Italy.
I
And
mean,
in Italy as
it's
well,
going
but
crazy.
it's going crazy. Inter is on fire, man. I mean, I remember the post of Çalhanoğlu who wanted to paint Milan, and the supporters are changing all the paint on Lukaku.
But
So
I've been right about something there. I told you that Hakan is gonna make Lukaku leave.
I mean, he's
This can
making
happen
us
way
leave.
before the start of the season.
Oh man, he is really bad. But anyway, Rohit, let's you send me this video, and it's clear. It's quite clear what's going on in the football world at the moment. So funny enough, there is no Manchester City and PSG on this list. How we explain that? I mean, what's going on? What's going on there? Why they don't have any depth? Because I know they
because
get massive sponsorship from their owners, but that is incredible, man. Is something UEFA is not looking at? Oh, Skrilla is here. What's up,
yeah,
How's
man?
everyone
I
doing?
mean,
Nice,
sorry,
nice
Skrillex.
haircut, man.
Thanks.
Come on, bro.
What's up, man? Okay, there is a bit of noise, Ibrahim, but I'm gonna mute you for a second. Rohit, go for it, man. What we gonna
Yeah,
say?
so basically, I actually I mean addressed that today in a tweet. The FFP actually does not care about the balance sheet of a club. FFP is more concerned about the income sheet of a club. So income sheet is basically focused on how much a club earns and how much a club spends. A
Okay.
balance sheet is more concerned about how much debt a club has. So what Barcelona did was that it actually made a lot of false accounts, and they showed that they're getting a lot of money, but they spend more money than what they were earning. So they were to balance that. I mean, to balance their expenses, they took a lot of loans and debts, and that's how this debt has actually become more than what they are earning. But in terms of PSG, since like you said, Lad, they're actually doing a lot of. I mean, Qatar itself. I mean, PSG is just owned by a country itself by Qatar, and Qatar pours in money through tourism. So they actually, I mean, if suppose they're spending like 500 million, the whole 500 million is poured into the club by these owners. So they actually don't need any debt.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Let's talk. I want to say something about Tottenham, for example. They just built a new stadium, so that billion debt, I would say 70% is due to the stadium, which is a good debt because it's kind of a you always gonna pay that stadium with tickets and with merchandising, with things expanding, events and everything. So in 20 years or 10 years, whatever is the plan, they're gonna pay that debt. So Tottenham is not in a bad place. I think Tottenham is a bad place in terms of squad because they have to sell Harry Kane. And what do you guys think? He's gonna go? He's gonna go up before the end of the transfer market?
I think so.
I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Go ahead.
please go on. Please. No, you go on, Anwar.
Well, he's been missing the training so far, and I think he wanted to leave some years ago, not just recently. But this is his last chance, maybe, to get to a bigger club. And then we're not showing any disrespect to Tottenham. It's a great club, but the at the level he's playing, I think he can actually be the number 9. I don't know, playing alongside Benzema or for Barcelona or anything. Or I mean, any bigger club can actually afford a guy like him, even Man United. So for him to make this move, I think it seems okay because the club has not been so straightforward when it comes to strategy. They fired Pochettino, they fired Mourinho. and it's not making a lot of sense anymore. And it went from a great example to a club that's now a little bit struggling. So for him to make this move, I think on a personal level, yeah, he tried to give a lot to Spurs, and he could not achieve a big tournament there or anything. Like they didn't win anything with Kane. So I think it is the time for him to go.
He's asking 150 million pound. Go, Skrillex.
Yeah, if I can just add on to that, I think it comes to a point in every player's career is that you've got to look at what your next step is, and it comes. What I see in Tottenham is that after the qualifying or making it to the final of the Champions League, they don't have it with them anymore. So that's what I think is that if you're on a project, how fragile is your project, and are your players also going to buy into? And that is the same for our club as well. Is that we can keep going on this project and all that, but at the end of the day, maybe like in 5 or 6 years, if we don't win anything, players are going to start thinking the same. Is that okay? I'm here. We're not doing too bad, but what's in it for me? People want to win trophies. Players want to win trophies. And sorry to take a bit of time, but Rohit, I was just a bit curious. I just wanted to get your take on this. Because you're showing the numbers even from this morning here in Saudi time. The way that I'm looking at it is that these clubs, well, not all of them, but a lot of these clubs, even though in high amount of debt, look at the achievements that they've made. I know there's the sustainable side of it, is that you don't want to run into a Barcelona type situation where people are leaving and you just don't have money to pay for your best players. But maybe in 20, 30 years, it doesn't matter, because you've already won so much. Now, in your opinion, do you think that the clubs have like a line to say that, okay, we're going to take a gamble. If it doesn't pay off, at least we've won something?
I just want to answer to that because I think Reid wasn't in the live at the moment. They didn't want so much.
I heard that.
They didn't want so much. If you think, okay, Borussia Dortmund, Southampton, Napoli, and Milan, I think they have a manageable depth. Brighton as well. Olympique Lyon, I don't think that is a manageable depth for Olympique Lyon in Ligue 1 with the financial situation they have. There is a trouble over there. Roma, I see a trouble over there. They have a rich owner, but I see a trouble. They haven't won anything. Real Madrid, yes, they have won, but in the recent 5 years, they've been struggling. Yeah, they're winning La Liga sometimes or more often, but still, that's not a big winning for a club like Real Madrid. And they're still in the Champions League, so they still have that brand. So Real Madrid is understandable, the depth they create, because they want to look always forward. Juventus,
but they also rebuilt the stadium there.
Yeah, they are thinking big, so I understand them. And they're always going to win La Liga. They're going to find a way to win La Liga. They have less competition in the Premier League. Juventus is in the similar situation to Real Madrid. I think Juventus has been unlucky because they got Ronaldo in the period of COVID, so they didn't exploit that on tickets, on merch, and all that stuff. So they really got unlucky, and now they're in trouble. I think Inter did nothing. They spent a lot of money to win one Scudetto. Come on, seriously. I want a lot for AC Milan to win a Scudetto, but it's not a deal breaker to go in that financial situation and to be a joke for all Europe, basically. Manchester United, really poor winning. I think they didn't do a lot for the money they spent. Atletico Madrid could have done better. Still not incredible. But it's Barcelona, if you have Messi in your team and you have $1 billion debt, the people running that club, they should be in prison. Thank God they are in prison. And Tottenham as well. Come on, what they won? Seriously. So basically, a few of them.
If you're given the choice, in 10 years' time, we'll be in the same position as Barcelona, 1 billion in debt, but you have 4 Champions League additional to your club. What will you choose?
This is because we are not managing those clubs and we are not putting our money there. So we are basically selfish supporters. So of course, if I'm a selfish supporter, I will say, I want four Champions League so I can brag for another 10 years with Inter and say, I have 12 Champions League or whatever, 11 Champions League. But that's so selfish. I would love my club to be like Bayern Munich or Chelsea, 20 years of reliable finance, reliable winning, big players, a great academy. Because Chelsea is spending 100 million on Lukaku, but they are making 65 million with Tomori and Tammy Abraham and with some youngsters. So they're basically spending 20 million for Lukaku. So that is the way you run a club. Every time they sell a player, they sell it properly. Every time somebody comes um, from the Primavera of the youth team, they have a reliable player. So I want a club to be run like Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern Munich. I don't want to be run like even Man City in certain ways is
But
run pretty well.
even if you look at Chelsea, they have Abramovich, who's actually been, I don't know, like injecting funds and funds to Chelsea, and they got punished for that. And if you look at it like the real example as it is, realistically, they actually went against the fair play. They got banned for, I don't know, a year. Then they got back and won the Champions League. So
Uh,
does
can
it
I?
make like does the mean justify the end, or this is
Can
Go
I?
for it, for
a
it.
question like
Yeah. Actually, they got banned for something else, not for breaching FFP. Chelsea were banned for signing underage kids. I mean, they signed 60. I mean, underage, that is below the age of 16 illegally. That's what they were banned for. But to answer Skillet's question, so we actually got 5 Champions Leagues under Berlusconi, but we also had to face all of that banter era kind of thing where we actually won nothing from like what 2011 to we're still going on with without a meaningful trophy less campaign. So I think that's something where we need to balance our spending as well as our trophies as well. We need, which I mentioned in the morning stream, uh, that we actually need to have a kind of a an owner with a business plan. So in the end, even if, let's say, if Elliot leaves us and a new owner comes in, we would be independent. We would not have to depend on our owner, just like how Bayern are, like Layat mentioned. So I think that's actually what we need. As selfish fans, yes, we can maybe speak about achievements, but if we do not have finances going forward, then I think we will again have another 10-15 years where we won't win anything.
Yeah, it's complicated. What about Messi? You guys have seen the image of him in Paris and all the people. It's like a messiah. He came to win the Champions League. Like someone else came a
Did
few
you see
years
his
ago
shirt?
in Italy to win the Champions League.
Did you see his shirt at the airport? It says what I think translation is "I am Paris" or something like that.
ici c'est Paris.
Yes.
I think yeah, or this is Paris or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it's all about marketing, man. I think it's
Do
getting
you
paid
like
enough to
this
wear what they're
move
saying to
there?
wear.
Do you agree with
Huh?
this?
What do you say?
Do you like this move?
It's I think that move comes because there is an opportunity here, and because Mbappe is leaving, man. It's clearly he's leaving. He's not renewing his contract, so they need
I
a big
think
name.
it would be a mistake for him to leave now. Like stay another year, then leave for free. He can leave
Also,
for free
I
next
think
year.
Yeah, yeah.
also
Mbappe
I
is leaving. That's
So
the
so
thing.
he can stay here for another year, play with Messi and Neymar, probably challenge for the Champions League, then leave for Real Madrid.
Yeah, something
also
like that is gonna
also I
happen.
also I think it's a huge campaign initiated by the Qataris because the World Cup is coming soon.
So
Yeah,
PSG is gonna be like the promotional video for the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, to generate interest and generate talk about the Qataris, and
But
since the World
honestly,
Cup is coming to, yeah, please go on, Anwar.
do you think this is like, does this agree with whatever the financial fair play principle is trying to apply in football, modern football? I think,
Uh,
yeah, I think
so
they for sure. I know that they are not
uh,
actually breaking any
to
laws, but
yeah,
are they
to
breaking the
answer your
code?
question, I need like 5 minutes. Lad, I'm gonna just exit the stream, and I just saw a post. I'll share it on to your Twitter DM. Just show it on the screen. So just give me 2 minutes.
okay. I just wanna talk with Anwar about this. Yeah, we need to remember that PSG can do whatever they want with financial fair play. So I mean, the person who owns PSG is sitting in the same office with the guy who runs UEFA. So it's like probably Seferin is telling him how to break the rules without getting caught, and he's getting a fat check in his Swiss bank account. And I'm not afraid to say that on YouTube. That is out because I've seen it before. Platini was getting money, Blatter was getting money. So
Do
they
you know some officials were actually arrested last week from the UEFA?
exactly. So they are super corrupt. I realize that, and so PSG can do whatever they want. So people complaining on Twitter about PSG saving
But
the
to be honest,
football.
it's not only PSG layered because also the players go in there. You know what's happening. You know that like I know that Qatar has been avoiding so many trouble because of how rich they are. But if you look at the how they prepared the World Cup and the amount of cost of life that have been growing with every day preparing for these new stadiums, and I think it's not worth it. It's not like a World Cup is not worth all these lives. And
I believe what I believe is as soon as UEFA doesn't need them anymore after the World Cup,
yeah,
no one is gonna care about them
but
anymore.
you know, as long as they have the money there, it's gonna be hard because after COVID, everyone is gonna be begging for money. So if Qataris are willing to still spend in Europe and give such big amounts to these clubs and keep funding them, I mean, they're welcomed anyway. Like even if you're not humanitarian, if you're not actually respecting the financial fair play principle, which is to give a fair chance to all the clubs, and now it's not a fair chance because if Messi and Neymar and Mbappe are playing on the same team with Donnarumma, who's benching, that's not even like all star. Like, even Real Madrid with the Galacticos, they could not achieve to have so many players in so many key roles of the team filled and still pay them. I mean,
I'm quite confident because they have a serial loser as a coach, so they're not gonna win.
qualify
This is
with Shakhtar or like I don't know, like Olympique Lyon to win them over the cup and Lille keep winning the league. I want to see that. Like this is the kind of football I'm willing to see next season.
But you said
yeah,
exactly is that they are all in at this point. Yeah, they've signed all these players, even though on free transfer they signed
They're
maybe.
in contacts with Pogba, Ronaldo, and Zidane,
But
and
the
they try
moment
to
they
sign Deo.
lose, the whole house is coming down.
I mean, like if you look at just this year, they've been spending so much in terms of commissions. Yeah, they're not spending on the fee, but they're still paying these agents and players to sign for the club. So why can't you control that? But you control Milan to not spend 20 million plus in the summer. Like it does not even make sense. Like,
yeah,
I think
it's
the
crazy. It's
explanation is
crazy.
that we don't have a good lawyer.
I think
Lawyers are not any good.
the chance we miss is to have Boban leave the club. I think with Boban's
Yeah,
management, he could have achieved so much with UEFA.
I feel like we're gonna be like, as I say, Reid made a great point over there about the World Cup. So what these people are trying to buy? I mean, they already bought UEFA and FIFA. They
Well, actually, they're selling
basically
their image. This is
no. If you want to win the bid to run a World Cup, you need to feed these people.
yeah.
You need to send the money on their personal bank account, not an UEFA account. And on the other side, you need some favor back on them on Europe for football and everything like that. And everything was planned with the financial fair play. They knew they can avoid that. They knew they can do whatever they want. Even American owners, they know that. They know the fact that these owners of PSG, Man United, and everything like that, they can do whatever they want. So they are not even trying to compete against them. They're
Yeah.
just staying there, staying, protecting their brand and everything like that. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus realize that, and they try to run this super league, which is even a bad idea
Like
because just the league.
the way
But we're
it is
gonna talk
here,
about that another day.
to be honest, Laird, like we had so many conversations about the Super League, but when you look at this, like they are allowed to do anything they want, but you're not allowed to spend 10 million in your mercato if you want to add more to your team. That's it. Like, is it fair
Uh,
at this point?
Is it?
So Anwar, sorry to interrupt. So actually, yeah, this is the picture I wanted to show. So, in since the pandemic set in 2020, so French league has a lot of issues. The league has had a lot of issues to get money from the TV rights. So like they have not got they still have arrears regarding money to be paid in 2019-20 season, and the 2020-21 season their deal with Canal Plus completely collapsed, and still have around like 300 million to get. And even then you can see that you can see the revenues that while PSG is like having 590 some million. I can't see it clearly on the screen. Next club is like only at 100 something million. So you can see the kind of revenue differences and how much they are start padding their revenues by sponsorships through under the table
Yeah.
kind of deals. So when you're actually when you're actually looking at the FFP, it looks like as if they're complying with the FFP, because FFP states that you can only spend what you earn. So that's the most basic rule of FFP. You can only spend what you earn. FFP does not deal with debts. That's a main issue. It does not have a clear definition towards that. So I mean, since the Qataris have so much of money, they can even. I mean, I think they are kind of pouring in 300, 400 million easily into a club like every season. That's something very few millionaires or billionaires can do. I mean, in pouring in 400 million every season, along with financing a transfer campaign, is something only people with lots and lots of money and lots of passion can do. So this is how PSG is actually getting by, because they're actually kind of it's called financial. The word is financial doping. So they are actually injecting cash into their accounts through illegal means regarding FFP. That's something that we aren't doing, and since they're doing that, that's how they get past. I mean, that not only them, that's how even Manchester City has been able to get past FFP.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. It's really difficult to compete with that. And today there was a post on Twitter of a guy saying, "Oh, why AC Milan supporters?" I think you replied to that post as well, Reid. He was saying, "Oh, why AC Milan supporters are complaining about PSG?" Berlusconi was doing that in the late 80s. And I replied simple as that. I said at that time everyone was allowed to spend money. There was no financial fair play. So Berlusconi was buying Van Basten, Napoli was buying Maradona. Imagine now without financial fair play, Napoli.
Sampdoria was spending
Yeah,
and getting Mancini and
yeah,
Graham
Juventus,
Souness.
Julian,
Platini,
Rijkaard,
Inter. Everyone was buying players. I mean, Real Madrid, Barcelona was getting players. Even in Germany. So everyone was allowed to spend money at that time. So Berlusconi was spending in a period where everyone was allowed to spend. Imagine without the financial fair play, De Laurentiis, the president of Napoli, signing Messi without any problem. He is rich enough to give a 3 year deal to Messi, make all the money in the world in that 3 years on merch and everything, and and keep going with Napoli in a normal life without winning anything. He just wants to bring Messi, the next Maradona, to Napoli. He could have done that without the financial fair play, but because the financial fair play cannot put his own money, it's not possible. Or even our owners that are super rich, they can invest without the financial fair play. With the financial fair play, they are not allowed to invest. Even if they want to invest 200 million, they are not allowed because it goes against them because we don't go in Champions League. So it's so unfair to compare that to Berlusconi or to all the ownership before. It's really unfair because now is as you say, Anwar, on WhatsApp, is a scam. Is basically a scam. PSG, Man City can spend whatever they want, unlimited budget. The other ones they need to make the balance work.
and this is why they were not invited. Like PSG was not invited initially to the Super League, because every big club knows how PSG do the deals. They know how they sign the players, and they know it's a scam. They know they're gonna get scammed for their players. But either way, that's what happens, and you cannot deal with it differently. And why I'm saying this is because they wanna, like the speech they gave about the Super League was, oh, we wanna give fair play and chance for every club to actually think about winning the Champions League, and then you allow PSG to do this. Like you cannot say two different things. You cannot do two different statements, and that's the problem with UEFA. And there is no one to tell UEFA, no, this is not right. That's
Believe me, European Union is gonna beat the shit out of them. Believe me,
I
European Union is
don't,
gonna do that.
as much as they're making money, as much as they're keeping the sport going, they're keeping the cups going, they're keeping people interested. Why would even European Union actually?
Because it's stopping the growth of other countries like Spain, Germany,
I
Italy.
think
Because
this is why the power move for the Super League was happening, because you got
um,
it's to make maybe the European Union move, or actually these clubs to move, because
yeah, I think that the Super League talk was just to force European Union to actually deal with this issue, because the Super League, as I say with you, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna have actually a special live and talk about just the Super League, why it's good or wrong, whatever the opinion of other people, because Reid wants to talk about that. But all that mess they did is because to tell where European Union that here is happening something wrong, that actually an Italian club cannot invest 200 million because the financial place stops them. And so if AC Milan doesn't invest 200 million, people don't go to the stadium, people don't spend on t-shirt and merch, they don't spend on TV, right? So what happened? The economy of an entire country stays lower because you are not allowed them to invest. And my league doesn't grow.
like this for me in finance, it works as an opportunity cost, because if all these players are going to PSG, everyone is going to be watching PSG, and no one is going to be watching the other clubs, right? And this is the
Yeah.
same point as the Super League. Everyone is going to be watching all the clubs in the Super League, and no one gives interest to the other clubs. But now we have only one club who's doing this, and you have City, because it's probably the same thing, but still PSG is going at it because they have the World Cup. They're not waiting. At least City, they wait 2 years, then go for a big market, then wait 2 years, go for a big market. PSG is every year since they were bought by the Qataris. And for me, I think either way, with Barcelona now having Messi leaving the club that way, they cannot even give him the money he wanted. They could not do anything. They were tied by the Liga, by the UEFA, by everyone. And you have to give the best player probably in history for free. That's even worse than Donnarumma. Like
Well,
imagine
they
you
did.
have Messi leaving for free. Like he wants to stay. That's even worse. The guy actually wants to stay, and
It
he can.
reminds me a lot like Lukaku
And honestly, I believe
or
with this
Hakimi.
happening, even with Madrid facing the depth they have, I think they're not gonna let go of the Super League. They're gonna fight so hard for it, because the Messi point was like, this is the war. Like this is the declaration of war between the clubs and UEFA. Because if UEFA was looking for the interest of Barcelona as well, they would have found an interest to keep him there, or to keep the fans happy, because they're gonna be watching next season.
No,
And
I blame Barcelona for that, man.
yeah,
You
for
had
sure,
Messi
sure.
for 20
But like,
years. You had the opportunity to make money with Messi. You
but
had the
there,
opportunity to win with Messi. So
if you allow this for PSG, why don't you allow it for Milan or Barcelona? This is the
that
question.
well, that's another point. The problem of Barcelona is that Barcelona cannot actually complain about they
Yeah,
didn't
they
spend
had
money.
really bad management
They spend
all
a
the
lot
year.
of money. I wish we could have spent the money Barcelona spent. I wish we could have buy Coutinho for 150 million or even
I
Dembele, but we're playing with Casti on the right. So
I think both of you actually have a point. Is Barcelona wrong in spending that money? No, they actually showed ambition because they actually wanted to maintain their winning squad. But what Layat said is also actually true. They actually misspend, or I mean, Joseph Bartomeu actually misspent all of that money, and
Yeah,
they actually threw away a golden opportunity. So I think that, I mean, both of you have a very compelling argument regarding this. But for me, the Super League is actually there to kind of remove the mediator in between the TV, that like the money and between the clubs. So UEFA actually does charge a commission for. I mean, they act as a mediator, and they're actually charging a commission to with the TV companies before they actually distribute the TV money and the prize money. So I think the main idea behind the Super League is to remove UEFA and cut down that commission that UEFA is charging and get more access to money. And also, I think recently a legal code ruled that UEFA does not have monopoly over football. I mean, nobody owns football, so UEFA does not have monopoly over football. So I think the Super League, since all of the 12 clubs signed a non-binding agreement, I think the Super League will come forward very soon.
Yeah,
No, it's
just on that
yeah,
point,
go for it.
read some articles. Even you could say it's very much in the early stages of rumor about some of the leagues actually entertaining the Netflix sort of model, which would then cut across all this UEFA because at the end of the day, the league and the clubs within the league they should own their content. I guess that's the argument being made there. So why would you want to distribute or have to share some of your revenue?
Exactly.
Uh, I think
Yeah.
the Super League is that is a great point, and I think we are going in that direction. I think in a few years, every club is gonna own their own streaming channel, or at least go straight away and get that percentage of viewing. So let's say if Real Madrid is viewing on streaming Real Madrid against Betis Sevilla, and you actually see that game is watched by 30 million because it's Real Madrid, because Betis, the other game, is going to have 3 million viewers. Real Madrid is going to get that 27 million viewers a pound, so it's going to get a lot of money. So we're going to go in that model that actually the club gets whatever they own. But going back to why the Super League is up is there is a talk about Super League. Yeah, that is right. They want to get more money, more TV rights. They want to get more power to UEFA, and but UEFA is kind of doing a monopoly indirectly, because without going in Champions League, you don't get 100 million, or you don't get 50 million or 40 million. So you are forced to follow the rules of the Champions League, how to run your club. So they are forcing you. So technically, they are um, dictating you. So they run basically football in the world at the moment,
But
and that's the only problem I think all the clubs had. And UEFA, if they want to keep running football in the world, they need to delete that financial fair play rule, and they need to accommodate the 20 big club in the world. They need to accommodate them. And what does it mean? That share their TV rights in a better way. But going back to what are we saying, until the World Cup in Qatar is going to happen, they are still being best buddies with the Qatari and all the Arabs that actually run these clubs to
but
make that thing happen.
beside this, also there, the potential the Super League offers in terms of money and viewership. As an owner, if you're a CEO of a company, and I tell you, okay, you can make 20 times as much if you just sign a contract and you are assured that your financial situation for the next 20 or 30 years almost is probably between this bracket, and it's only going to grow at this rate because we can ensure that every year people are going to watch this Super League. And for sure, real fans, they're not going to let go of their club, believe me. Even if they join like a league in Mars, I'm gonna follow Milan there. So I don't care if they're playing culture or Champions League or whatever. I'm a Milan fan supporter. So the league, does the league have much interest in the club itself, or like if you really think about it, these fans are only interested to watch like the biggest games of the season because they make the most money. To be honest, only real fans
Uh,
really watch the whole season, but most of the
I
fans
think
watch the biggest games of the season.
I
Also,
think these clubs.
also,
Yeah, go for it.
Also, I have a question. I mean, it's not a question to anybody. I mean, I have a question for UEFA. What are they doing to actually develop football in grassroots level? or what are they actually doing for the smaller clubs? They're not
No,
actually doing anything for the smaller clubs. Nothing. They are
Uh,
actually not using their. I mean, they have like 4 billion of money, like reserves lying around. Like I just read the news like around 2 weeks back that Kievo Verona is going into insolvency mode. So like, what is UEFA doing for this? I mean, the whole idea of financial fair play was to save clubs from being insolvent and all these kind of financial problems. So what is the FFP actually worth it? What is it good for? It's
no,
actually
but
doing
you
nothing.
have no, you have to realize that they are not investing on Kiev or Verona, but they are investing on all those small clubs in Eastern Europe, on all those small leagues in Eastern Europe or North Europe, or I don't know, small clubs in Portugal. There is
are
a
they
lot of
really
small
there?
countries, so they are investing a lot in that. They are building entire stadiums or giving money to the youth teams. So of course they are not doing enough. But they are doing their own part. Everyone sees where the money goes, and you can check that. The problem is, you know what? I don't care about that. Let's be honest. I don't care about that. I really care about the fact that this sport needs to get free from financial constraint.
Yeah.
Any other business can do whatever they want. If I want to build a new company that actually makes smartphones, I can do it tomorrow and invest 1 billion and actually try to compete with Apple. You can do that actually.
Yeah.
Or you can make the new YouTube or the new Netflix. You can do whatever you want in any business. You can invest in. I mean, the guy Elon Musk is making cars. He started from scratch, investing billions and billions, and no one is stopping him. No country, no government is stopping on investing money. Why in football we are stopping clubs or millionaires are investing money? That is madness.
But the
That
thing
is
is,
just madness.
Layer, if you look at it and the table we had, how many years have it been since the beginning of the financial fair play? Like 10 years now, probably.
Yeah, 2011, I think it was the
So
first
for
year.
10 years, we can judge how a project actually yielded. We can look at this day one. This is the ambition, and after 10 years, what are the results? When you look at the results, you have the top 50 clubs in the world highly indebted. So your financial fair play was set to actually provide a financial situation to these clubs so that they do not end up in such situation. But in the end, after 10 years, they're all so in debt that the only way for them to think outside of this is to find different new sources of money, different sources of cash, because this is not enough anymore. So your financial fair play, what you have done as a program, actually failed because it does not respond to the ambition it had, is to stop these teams to actually finding themselves after 10 years in a really risky situation.
But I want to ask you a question. The financial fair play started when the president of Paris Saint-Germain and the president of Man City came to the world of football. So
Yeah.
my question is this financial fair play to actually do that, or actually to give an advantage to these two people in the European football? Because what I feel like there is a big scam. The financial play came in exactly when these two people bought these clubs, and
Yeah.
they invest as much as they wanted, and the other clubs, they were just busting their ass trying to grow their finance so they can actually invest the same amount they're investing. So I feel that the financial fair play is one of the biggest scam of the history of football. It came in the right moment for these two presidents. They did whatever they want. They put down all legendary clubs. They put down clubs with an immense history, 100 years of history, just to make sure they can do whatever they want in this business. So I
But
feel like
they
that's
did not
my
win a
issue.
Champions League there.
They didn't want any Champions League. That is the funny thing. After 10 years, they didn't want a Champions League. They bought Neymar 200 million. They built an insane two insane teams, but they didn't want anything. So, and I don't think they're gonna win it next season because, as I say, they have a serial loser as a manager. This guy lost every title he couldn't lose. He lost the Ligue 1 with PSG. He
They're
lost the
actually
Champions
in
League
negotiation
final.
with Zidane.
Huh?
They're actually in negotiation with Zidane.
Not even Zidane is gonna win, man. Believe me, not even Zidane. Because Neymar, when he doesn't like the training, he goes to the president and he talks to the president, and the president fires the coach. So they're not gonna win, man. That club is run like a boy band, not like a football club.
Messi makes a difference. Like this, I would agree with everything you said, Laird, if they did not have Messi. Messi.
Listen, Messi at 27 was unplayable. Messi at 34 is gonna do his 30 goals in Ligue 1, but in Champions League he's gonna play the same like he was playing for Barcelona.
But I think even in Barcelona, he was getting them through. They had a shit team in defense, like the midfield was so imbalanced, and still they won so many games. And
listen,
the guy, like
they still, in my opinion, if you don't consider the name of the players, just don't rate the name. I don't think Neymar is so decisive,
but
like people really think.
When I think about Donnarumma, Ramos, Hakimi,
Ramos 3 games last season. He played 3 games last season.
I know, but still the mentality he brings to the locker room. You have champions, like I would agree because before they had, I don't know, Marquinhos. None of these guys actually won a Champions League or won too many Champions League. Now they have players who actually compete to bigger trophies. This is the only difference that I'm seeing in this team. They have actual champions in the team, and they can actually challenge. And I really hope they don't win it. I would be satisfied with having them being knocked out in the group stage. I'd hope we actually face them and manage like a young kind of game when we score and actually win, because that would mean something also to football. It means that bringing the best team in the world does not mean actually winning anything.
Anyway, that's what.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Is that do you remember the Leicester run? Leicester run with Lille very recently. This model that they embarked on, having expensive players, is very fragile. All it takes is for a well-built team, that doesn't cost that much, to do the underdog story, and these teams are so completely smashed. So that's why it's fragile in the sense that you can spend as much as you want, but it definitely doesn't buy any results.
Yeah, but the difference now is that they bought also the mentality. If they bring Zidane and all these champions in the locker room, I think it's going to be a different story. It's a different team walking on the field. That's not the PSG of the last 10 years. And is it fair? Of course not. This is like a charity game. It should not be happening. And
I don't think. Going back to what if they're gonna win? Sorry. When is the last time Barcelona won the Champions League?
I think with Neymar and Messi, this is when they last won it.
So basically, what I'm saying that Messi is Messi is gonna perform. No, I'm not even thinking that Messi is not gonna do at least 30 goals in Ligue 1 and another 10 in Champions League. My question is the team solid, organized, tactically prepared, and committed to actually win a competition where you have to face Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, AC Milan, Juventus, and other Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, clubs that actually have proper tactics, proper group. They are compact, they are solid. They want to win it. They see the enemy when they play against PSG because they see, okay, these are the big guys. We want to beat them.
Yeah, this is gonna be like the new, I don't know, the bully of the Champions League. Everyone wants to beat PSG.
Everyone wants to beat them. So it's not so easy for them. Every small team is gonna go there, park the bus, and go in a counter attack. So it's not gonna be so. It's not gonna be so simple. And we saw Italy wasn't was the underdog of the Euros. A great group, big national teams with big stars. They didn't manage to win or do better than Italy. So that's what's going to happen with PSG. A lot of stars, they are going to not fight with each other, but the manager is not allowed to put them in the bench. And in some games, you cannot put Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, Verratti, Hakimi, all of them together. Some match, you need to put someone in the bench, and it's going to be really hard. And he's a serial loser, as I say. He's going to lose even this one. He's going to get fired in November, and the guy is coming is going to be Conte, which is going to bench Neymar and play with 2 strikers and all soldiers in the pitch.
You know, they actually bought now Wijnaldum for free, Donnarumma for free, Ramos for free, Messi for free, and I don't know who they spent on actually. So they still have room to actually spend. This is the problem here. Like,
Now, come on, they paid their agent fees. Come on, we know
no,
they
no,
paid at least
no, no. We
100
all deal
million
with that
on these
players,
guys.
but UEFA does not see that picture. UEFA does not. They, I don't know. Their right eye is not working really well, so they only look at the transfer fees when it comes to PSG. So they can actually go for Pogba and Ronaldo. I don't know, like
Oh,
if they actually sign Pogba and Ronaldo and bring Zidane as a coach.
this is an interesting comment because when the Galacticos started, they were really a scary team, but they were not solid enough to actually win it and to be. So they became a team after few other less glamorous players came in.
Yeah, I mean,
So
the Galacticos Perez only expanded on the forwards and the wingers. Like, and when you look at the back, they had Salgado, Mejia, Raul Bravo, Grafton. I mean, you cannot walk from that to Zidane and Ronaldo. Like, you're bringing down all the football. And when you look at this PSG, it's different. They actually have proper players on the back line. They have Hakimi. They have. They wanted to sign Theo. So I don't know what they're going for. Like,
okay, let's
So one
thank God
one
for
thing
remind.
which I
Yeah,
can
go for it.
one thing which I can agree with for Lyatt is the fact that Pochettino will have a huge issue regarding his pressing and his defensive duties because Neymar and Messi are not good for pressing or in terms of going back to win the ball, and even Mbappe is not all that defensive as well. So he's going to have a headache in terms of that, especially if you're playing a team like Liverpool or an ultra attacking team like say maybe Bayern Munich. So like I think that is an issue where it will come for. I mean that will is the issue that they'll face. Because even now I think their midfield is kind of incomplete.
no, but
Wijnaldum and
already
Verratti will actually do well, but I don't know from where. I mean they actually will need a third good midfielder, and even if even if they get Pogba, I don't know if he will be the missing piece in the puzzle.
they have
And
Wijnaldum. Oh,
pardon?
they have Wijnaldum from. He left for free from Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean by now that's why I said Wijnaldum and Verratti will be the two in the midfield. And if they're planning to go for a 4-3-3, then I don't know who's going to be the third person.
They have
Because
also Paredes on the midfield. So I
my
think they,
Pere-
when it
for
comes to
me, when I look at the style of play, Paredes and Verratti are very similar. They're actually both of them are deep
Paredes
lying
is
play.
more aggressive. He gets the ball much more aggressively than Verratti. Like, he's more defensive for me.
I mean, the last time, I mean, I haven't seen PSG as much, so but from what I've seen of Verratti and Paredes, I mean, both of them have been deep lying playmakers as much. So maybe if like Pochettino is planning a 4-2-3-1 and trying to play a double pivot, then maybe these two can play together. But other than that, I don't know like how. I mean, both
I
of
just
them. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, finish. No, no. I just want to say that for me, it's not even a matter of tactics. It's going to be a matter of attitude. I think so many world class players, so many uh, divas in a team. No one is going to be willing to actually follow the instruction of the manager or actually do. There is going to be a sort of complacement, like, okay, we are the best, so we're going to win without even trying, and they're going to have a reality
No,
check
but
straight
Zidane actually
away.
worked with. Yeah, actually, the fact that Zidane actually worked with
Oh,
when he was
yeah.
Ancelotti,
I
I think he
think
had a
You have some. I don't know. We cannot hear you sometimes.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
hello,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
hello.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Zidane had actually already worked with the Real Madrid squad before taking over as a caretaker. He was the assistant coach to Carlo Ancelotti. So they already had that. So he already had that experience, and all he had to do was he just had to manage the egos and give a basic tactical advice to his players because
Yeah,
they were already a set team. But in terms of PSG, with so much of additions like Wijnaldum, Messi, and Hakimi, Donnarumma, I mean, so much of additions. I think it will be a little difficult even if Zidane just comes in between the season and tries to take over. I mean, that would be an issue for PSG.
I think he's gonna take over this summer, guys. He's French. The club is French. He said he wanted someday to
That,
train them. He's
uh,
progressed.
I think that would be kind of suicide if PSG are going to sack Pochettino and get Zidane
I
when the
think
season
it's
has already
a chance
started for
also.
them.
Like, imagine if you have Pochettino, you have Ancelotti and Zidane on the free market. Would you be still going forward with Pochettino? And he lost the league. He lost the Super Cup to Lille, and he
I
lost.
mean,
Got
but
disqualified.
if you would have posed this question to me like maybe a month ago, I would have definitely said Zidane. But right now, if you ask me, as if I mean, if I am a person with a little bit of football knowledge, I mean, if I'm the president who has a little bit of football knowledge, then definitely I would keep Pochettino. Also, Pochettino is a PSG legend.
Yeah, I mean, legend.
It's easy to be a PSG legend. I
Exactly.
mean,
Like,
considering the history of.
Obviously, they since they don't have history, so he's a legend.
He's a
Yeah,
So
legend
it,
at
yeah,
Tottenham.
I
history,
mean,
but
but I
it's
mean,
not a football.
they already started their league, and they were like 1-0 down until the 80th minute, until Hakimi and Icardi scored and saved them.
Yeah,
So I think
I think.
now, I mean,
Go ahead,
it
right?
would be suicide for me. Yeah, it would be suicidal for the management to sack a coach who actually has, trained this team for 2 months in the preseason, and I mean, just for the sake of the PR, get a
Guys,
coach who actually has no idea about the team
believe
tactics.
believe me, man, that team is gonna be a mess. You're gonna see it because let's look at the bigger picture. You have Mbappe that is leaving in a year. So what is his reason to put effort and work on that group? He's just gonna play for the sake of playing, scoring goals and enjoying it, of course. But he's not gonna train at the same intensity. He's not gonna care at the same intensity because he's gonna leave.
I
Second,
don't think so, right?
Neymar doesn't have the mentality of Ronaldo because we are comparing PSG at that Real Madrid. Neymar doesn't have the mentality of Ronaldo, and Neymar has done 75 games in 4 years at PSG in Ligue 1. So basically, get injury every time. So that is actually a good thing for PSG because they actually can put a real player to play and not Neymar. And on the other side, Messi just came in and everyone is relying on him, but he's been really good because he's been playing for Barcelona for almost 15 years or even more in that 4-3-3 with the same players, the same mentality. So he's starting a new adventure. So it's not going to be easy for him to adapt straight away. And any manager who goes to PSG is not like going in a solid big club with a history, with a kind of a, how can I say, uh, there is there is some position in the club. You know who is the main voice. You know who is controlling the club. You know who is making the rules. At PSG, no one is making the rules apart from Neymar and the owner. So it's
But
like you as a manager, you go there, you don't know how much power you really have to tell the players. Listen, just train with more intensity.
there, to be fair, they played a final and a semi-final 2 years in a row. So they were that close to the ECL, and they did not have such a team. And I'm not trying to compare it to anything, but if you think about Milan with Ancelotti, we had too many divas on the team. If you think about it, too many
Uh,
world-class players. And still, when I look at the Ancelotti interviews, what he said is that these players are actually champions. They do not need you to tell them go train properly. They know how to train properly. They want to win, and all you need to do is work on their mental because they already know the game. They already know how to play football. They just need to stick to the plan they decided before the game, and that's it. I don't think that Ancelotti was telling Maldini and Nesta how to defend. I think they already know how to defend. He was just telling them, hyping them up for the game, trying to cover some spaces, trying to notice some stuff from the other team, and that's it. That's
Yeah, but
the
I
player
heard
is
I
more
heard the,
experienced. And
listen, I heard the interview from Sedorf that was saying you didn't need Ancelotti to tell the players to train well, because Maldini in the training ground was giving you a right tackle, and he's telling you, listen, you need to run a bit more and get more. So it was all the group of the player that actually was putting some rules to the club. And
Yeah.
Maldini, Costa Curta, Gattuso, Pirlo, they've been there since the beginning. The group was so solid that every new player was coming in. They knew the rule, they knew the intensity, what they have to give. PSG, believe me, if they're gonna go far, they're gonna go far because they have a lot of talent, but they don't have what it takes to actually be so solid and win it until the end. That is my opinion. I feel like Chelsea, Man City, even Bayern Munich. I feel like even an Italian club this season can do really well in Champions League,
I
and
think
Real Madrid
with you
and
on that.
Barcelona as well can do well because now they're getting rid of all their stars, so they have to run. So I really believe PSG is not going to have it so easy in European field, and I don't know even in Ligue 1. Let's see what's going to happen. But
Yeah.
we're going to see that. Let's talk about
Right.
Florenzi. Oh, you go
Yeah.
for it. Sorry.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I think it's very important to mention about this being spirit of the champion, because every team is going to go behind at some point. Just like us. Do you remember the 4-2 that where we beat Juventus? Every team at
Yeah.
some point is going to go behind. Every team at some point is going to be 0-0 at the 90th minute. So what's going to happen to a team like PSG, where, as everyone agrees, that there's so many divas?
Oh, the-
It's not going to step up and say, okay, I want to score now and I'm going to win the game
But
for us. Or
this
they're
is
going to
what
start blaming.
Husni, just to answer your question, like I saw them over the weekend. They were losing the game. The other team was like first half a little bit controlling the game, and second half there was a different team playing for PSG. Hakimi was running all forward, and he scored like a really good goal. The only thing I'm saying is that this team actually has a Euro champion who is Donnarumma. They have five-time Champions League champion who is Ramos, or four times. You have Messi who won it 5 times or 4 times. This is it looks different from PSG with Icardi, and they had divas who are not actually champions. This is the
Yeah.
difference. Now they have
Yeah.
team who actually won something because they actually train properly. I don't think that Messi has a very bad training schedule. He played 15 years or 20 years at the world class level, and he's been injured very few times. So the guy is a beast when it comes to preparation. So I don't think that's gonna change because he only moved to PSG. Now he can actually win more titles there. So is that more ambition for the player? This is what I'm saying. Like these are different players. I think for Icardi moving for PSG, I don't think he was thinking about I'm gonna be the new Ronaldo for the Champions League. I think he was thinking about making money. That goes even for Draxler or Lavezzi or all these players. But when you think
No, no.
about Roma, when you think about Hakimi, these guys actually won these titles, but they want more.
Yeah, in the case of Messi, I just want to say this, and I think it's very important to go into this next season, is that I think Messi, even though he's won a lot and everything, it is not the same Messi that we've seen when he was young.
For sure.
Look at the times where he's been on the edge. Yeah, Argentina, they didn't win the World Cup. He said he wanted to leave. Last year, he wanted to leave Barcelona.
Just listen to me. Next year is Champions League, then World Cup. So if you play well in Champions League, you do well in World Cup, you're probably the next Ballon d'Or. In that team, I think that team is probably going to yield the next Ballon d'Or for next season. It's going to be either Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, or whatever. I don't know anyone from that team can actually win it. But if Messi is the best player of PSG, then Neymar is not getting it. So I think they're going to compete for it, even inside the team. So
yeah, this is a great point you're making. Yeah,
making money in PSG, because this is different. This is a different team. This is a different ambition when it comes to being paid and actually playing football. You're playing with the best in the world.
Or does that help the team or make it worse? Because if everyone's competing,
I think it helps because these guys actually, for me, I always refer to these players as confirmed players, or they actually did something in world football to actually deserve the money they are being paid. But if I'm paying, I don't know, like Hakan 8 million because we qualified for UCL, for me that's nonsense. I need to win UCL to give you 8 million.
Yeah, no.
This is the point I'm trying to make. Like, if they are justifying the deals they make, but I think it's not just about buying players like Icardi. Potentially they could become a great player. These are actually great players.
Yeah, no, it's a great point, and actually we're gonna see that in the first months, 2 months, So you realize how's the vibe, what they're doing in the beginning. If that doesn't start in the beginning, we're gonna have a point right
But
there.
I hope we play against them, and many on there's a really good game, and we score because Donnarumma fucked up.
That is a dream game, man. That is a dream game.
You go for
But
free, and you gave us the game away.
what do you guys think about Florenzi? And it's a done
Guys,
deal,
I'm
I
just
think.
gonna
Yeah,
say this, and I'm gonna leave because I'm not alone today. So I think it's a great deal if we can get him for. I don't know how much are we willing to pay
is
for.
is a loan. Is a loan. So
I
I don't
think it's
know with
awesome.
option to buy.
I think
Yeah, it's a good
Dalot
option.
was forbidden to leave United. So either the only option is either Odriozola or Florenzi. I'd rather go for Florenzi because he knows the
Yeah.
league at least.
No, it's a good player, and there is a lot of Ilicic is not going to happen. We were talking with Rohit about Fernan Torres. Some news coming from England saying that Fernan Torres is going on loan to AC Milan. That is amazing as a right
Yeah.
wing or a potential striker or left wing. He can play all the three positions. I don't know how well, but he can play all the three positions
We need
forward.
Ziyech.
Better than Samu.
Better than some Ziyech as well. Maybe it can happen. I hope Ziyech is gonna happen.
I think
I really hope.
I read some reports saying that the dream deal for Maldini is actually Ziyech. He's actually working on it personally. So I really
Maldini
hope
was
he gets the
smiling
guy.
today.
Huh?
Maldini was smiling today. It was quite chill today. Casa Milan. So I feel like something is gonna happen in the next days.
And they also shared some images of player unlocked and like guess the new like they're playing a game with the signing. But I
I'm
think
telling you,
but I think the done deal is not Ziyech. I think he's gonna be a player from Real Madrid. I'm not sure who it is. I think he's gonna be.
No,
No, I think
is
the
it?
game we just had. I think they went over talks. Maldini actually traveled there. I think he only traveled to talk about business.
Yeah, but maybe nothing happened. I hope it's Odegaard. Odegaard played the second half, so hopefully it's Odegaard, which is basically not considered by Ancelotti. But
To think
maybe.
about it, Laird, we already have Brahim Diaz. I think we offering the same profile. Is that a good idea?
But Odegaard can play on the right as well.
He's not so fast. You're not making a big improvement on Castillejo.
Oh no! Come on, man! Don't say that.
Now Castillejo actually runs back. That's all he does. But when going forward, he cannot hold the ball. He cannot turn. He cannot cross. He cannot shoot.
I just want to remember this is recorded, man. It's gonna be on. So be careful what he's saying, yeah.
No, but Odegaard does not play really that much on the right wing. All I'm saying, if you're playing and you want to compete for trophies, bring in Odegaard to play on the right wing. You're not really solving the issue of the wingers, and we saw that in pre-season so far. I think the weakest issue of Milan is that we cannot create as much, and it's not only because of Ben Nasser and Kessié are not there, but also when I've seen the players getting the ball forward, but they cannot think properly what to do with it. So it's not only about getting them the ball, because that's what Ben Nasser and Kessié do. They hold the ball, they get it from the other players, and they get it over to the forwards. Once it's their solution. They need to think properly about what to do next. They don't play in triangles. They don't do the 1-2s. Everyone is thinking individually. I saw Leao trying to score from outside the box. I mean, this is not the kind of preseason I want to see if you want to compete.
Would you say we're gonna go for a Real Madrid player? What do you have in mind? Who is the player
I think we have 3 players that we can go for in Real Madrid, which are Isco, Ceballos, and Odriozola. One of them is gonna join Milan because these are the positions we are actually trying to fill now.
I don't think so.
But none of them. Besides Isco, I don't want Ceballos because I've seen him his mentality is a huge issue. Locker room, he creates a lot of problems. He wants to play every game. He thinks he's better than Pirlo or something, but he's not even there. And I don't want this kind. I don't want a new Hakan in the team. I want someone who actually wants to prove himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I think
Laird and Husni, because me and Laird, we had a private conversation about Tonali, but What do you think after we had that conversation about Tonali? Do you think he should still be at Milan for next season or be loaned to
No,
play?
no, he still needs to be at Milan. I still think he needs to be at Milan because um, as I know, and a lot of people think I hate the guy, but I don't hate the guy. I
No, we
think it
don't hate
needs
him
time.
for sure.
I think it needs time to grow, but I think he's not playing in the way he should play on a double pivot team. He needs to play more. He needs to be more brave and go more forward and be more physical, more aggressive, intersect a lot of more balls. It's quite shy. His type of play, his type of game is really shy. So
He's not confident.
he's not confident. I feel is not still totally 100% comfortable with that shirt, with that responsibility. And a lot of people says it needs Kessie to be there, but it's time for him. Not it's time, but he needs to step up, at least on personality wise. He needs to grow as a personality. So, but he needs to stay another season to AC Milan. That is the thing. If you need to go, Anwar, I don't want to keep you here, but yeah, closing. I
Guys,
want to
please
close it.
like the video because we've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. Probably the guys are gonna stay for more. But guys, remember to like the video. Husni, probably need a new shirt back there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that.
We should get no, not because of Beckham. I love Beckham, but we should probably get Kessie a shirt there.
No, I'm done with getting any current players because they might think the back. I'm
Oh
only gonna
yeah.
get legends.
No, you know what? Get Calabria. I don't think Calabria is leaving or Krunic.
Gigi wasn't leaving. Okay, I really thought he wasn't leaving, and he left. So never buying a current player. I'm only gonna buy one.
I was watching the Valencia game, and I thought about you on the Krunic missed penalty. I was like, Husni's gonna feel so good about this.
Dude, I called it before he took the penalty. You know, Yusuf in Jeddah will come back. I watched it with him. I told him he was screwed up.
I've heard a lot of reports saying that Krunic is about to leave, Conte and Caldara already left. So the reports are somehow true because they reported also Caldara to be on the league, and now he left.
No, logically speaking, if you're any other club and you saw Krunic in the past 2 games, why would you take him? Honestly, why would you take him?
If you descend to a lower level, I think he can play better. Like if you take him maybe to a.
He will not go. He's taking the piss out of Milan. You know, he's like, oh, I have a chance to play Champions League. I'm taking my 1 million a season net, doing absolutely nothing and screwing things up. He's not going.
I need to send you a picture when I saw Pioli actually trying to say something to Krunic, and actually Krunic was telling him, "Stop! I'm gonna tell you what to do."
No, yeah. You see that? When it came to the cooling break, Krunic is the first player to speak to Pioli. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is he running this club?
Well, that thing cost him a lot.
Guys.
That thing cost him a lot because now he's gonna leave. So stopping Pioli talk, he's gonna be okay, you're gone.
Only reason Pobega is leaving on loan.
Listen, if you want him to leave, I have the solution here. If you want him to leave, you need to get the shirt. If you put the shirt behind your back, I think he's gonna.
Oh yeah, true.
This is the only solution, man.
Take one for the team, man. Take one for the team.
Gigio left as well, so we need whoever we need to actually leave. I'm gonna put Castilla. I'm gonna send you the Castillejo shirt and the Krunic shirt. We're gonna put.
The channel is gonna pay you, man.
The only reason I'm keeping Gigio's shirt is because I believe someday he's coming back.
Nah.
Even if he comes back, man, he's gonna be a traitor.
No one wants him back, man. No one wants him back. Well, he's gonna come back when we're gonna be really good and the superpower. Oh, fuck you! I'm not even taking you if you beg me.
Yeah.
No way, man.
Yes, people are gonna forget what happened. They're gonna take him back. There's gonna be a big marketing campaign. Gonna unveil him somewhere. Come back.
Listen, buy the Krunic shirt and Casti shirt. The channel is gonna pay. We're gonna put $1 each. We are enough to pay for that, and they're gonna leave. The magic is gonna happen, man.
Guys, don't waste the money on that guy. You know the club is already.
Give it a try. AC Milan is gonna get the money. Give it a try. You never know.
It's already 32. You can add another number. It's 33, and it's there.
Never, not gonna happen. Over my dead body.
Oh man.
We all want him to leave, Husni. Like, this is the only way. This is the
No,
only-
we as fans want him to leave. Why is Pioli not kicking him out of the club?
But how do you know? Maybe he wants him to leave.
I
Are
don't
you
think
serious?
so.
He
Players,
played
he
90
loves the
minutes
goal.
in the last game. Out of the
It's a
three,
preseason game, man. It's a preseason game.
Even last
Didn't-
season, when you can actually hear them speak on the field, he was like, all the time you could only hear "Bravo Samu" and "Bravo Krunic" or whatever his
Rade.
first name is.
Rade.
Rade, "Bravo Rade," and that's all. That's all you heard. Never you can see like "Bravo Ibra" or something.
Because they are good, the other ones. He knows those two are so shit. He needs to tell them, bravo, Rade, bravo, Casti, because they are
And
really
all
bad.
that FIFA is doing is just running, and that's enough to tell him "Bravo."
Exactly. Imagine what consideration he has for the players. But
Like,
man,
the decision to give him the number 7, I don't know.
that was crazy, man. But that was
Yeah,
3 years ago, or something like that.
you cannot move that from, I don't know, like even Menez did that number properly.
Yeah. Menez, man, what a player. What a
What a
class.
player! Just imagine Menez with a winger like that with Ibra.
Man, don't even go so far. Just imagine Tarab with this club, with
Yeah,
this
I
team.
mean, I
Man,
think
Tarab,
Tarab
he
was
had
a good
such a
deal.
dribbling, man. Imagine putting Tarab the last 20 minutes. He created 3 chances in 10 minutes. Even him was better.
In Morocco, we call Tarab the king of nutmegs. The guy just
Hey.
nutmegged everything, like everything, every living thing. It's just gonna be nutmegged by Tarab. That's his goal in life.
Exactly. But yeah, I heard, man, Fernan Torres, the Rohit was saying, maybe, because it makes sense. Grealish coming into City,
Right.
they need to get rid of the wing. See you, man.
Yeah, guys. See you.
See you next time, man. Thank you for coming. And Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. Of course, Forza Milan. I'm gonna show you that.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
All right, see
Oh,
you.
man. See you, man. So, Fernan Torres, man, is coming, I think. I have that
No, but-
feeling. Or Hakim Ziyech.
But the way that we've seen how this club operates, for operation like that, is probably going to be down to the wire, as in like the last day sort of deal. I don't see him coming early. Just like
Oh, yeah.
on the last day. Yeah?
It's complicated because Fernan Torres or Hakim Ziyech, I'm sure they have a lot of offer in the table, like clubs like RB Leipzig or Ajax, whatever. Even clubs like Real Madrid, you can have some offer for these players, or Sevilla. Who else is in Champions League? So these clubs, or even offers from Liverpool, because Liverpool probably needs some wings. But I feel like those players, they need to leave from Man City and Chelsea because there is a lot of competition. So let's see what's gonna happen. I'm pretty positive. I saw Maldini being smiley and relaxed. So I think the deal is almost done.
That's the thing that I think we can offer that a lot of other clubs cannot offer, is that Ferran Torres or whoever it is on the right wing, if you want to come in for a loan and you're like a good quality player, you can play from the first game, by the way. Some other clubs might be like, okay, our right wing might be a little bit decent, so you might be eased into the club. But for us, take the spot. If you're that good, take the spot.
Some people say we don't look like we're getting a right wing. Those are
This is my
Casti.
concern. By the way, like,
Well-
I wanted to ask you, in terms of
Yeah.
this project, yeah. So we've had 2 players who've come and said it very clearly. Manyan said, "I came here because of the project." Giroud said the same thing. "I came here because of the project." Now that we are looking at Florenzi, 30 euro. I'm not saying that he's bad, but look at the age factor. And now we're looking at Ilicic, if the reports are to be believed. How do you see what does it look like?
Okay, I'm trying to explain this to the channel, to the people that follow us. What the report say doesn't mean what is the project of AC Milan. The report needs to get clicks. They need to sell newspapers. They need to get people in the website. So the report is, since the transfer market started, we've been associated to at least 10 attacking midfielders and at least 6, 7 wings, right wings, left wings. We've been attached to at least 6, 7 young players from France and from other parts of the world. Kaya George was in the report as well. So what the report say doesn't mean it's what AC Milan is doing. Florenzi, does any report say anything about Florenzi? No. Signed for AC Milan. The report has been talking about Ilicic for a month and a half. Ilicic just is signing a new deal with Atalanta. So what we are talking about? Why people are still basing what Maldini is doing for the report? Judge the work Maldini is doing, what he's actually signing. He's signing young players like Diaz. He's keeping Rafael Leao. He's signing an experienced striker like Giroud, and he has Ibrahimovic as well. So technically, and midfield, we are keeping young players. They are all super young. Tonali, even Pobega probably is going to leave, but he's still part of the team at the moment. We need to see if he's going to leave. And Kessie is going to stay. Benacer. So Tomori, we got him. 30 million. We paid for him straight away without even thinking. We paid for Tonali. We got a discount. We paid for Tonali. So the report are saying a lot of things, but we don't know what actually is the project. Donnarumma didn't sign straight away. Mike Magnan, 26 years old, won the Ligue 1. Is a winner, and we already know he can handle pressure. He can handle high-level football straight away. What else? I can give you an example. We have some question marks, which is Romagnoli. What he's going to do? Is he going to renew? He's going to leave? So let's see that before the end of the transfer market. So reporters are saying a lot of names, and I don't believe them. Now we have this guy Adli from France, a young kid, and in a midfield. I don't know, man. I still don't believe it's gonna happen. I'm not sure about that. I feel like we still have to, as I say with Roy a long time ago. Now starts the real transfer market for AC Milan. Now it starts because now you see the big fish are buying. Now you see PSG buying a lot. Man City buying, Chelsea buying, Inter selling. So there is a lot of things happening. What I can tell you that for sure we're gonna get a right wing and another number 10.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure for the right wing, but I'm almost 100% for another number 10. And hopefully it's Ziyech, because Ziyech can play in the right wing and he can play as a number 10. He's that type of player.
Yeah, I think in terms
maybe
of
we get two.
Trying to kill two birds with one stone is definitely because there are a lot of profiles out there that can play both right wing and number 10, just like Ziyech. Because at the end of the day, and I do agree with you, I don't know why we're being linked to players which I deem as not priority. But once we get the ones that we really need to get, like a right wing and 10, even if it's one person who can play two roles, I think it's good enough as long as the player itself is quality. Because some makers, undoubtedly he'll get chance to play. We still need to play Diaz as well, so he's definitely going to get some game time. So it won't be a complete replacement to say that, okay, just because we got a new right wing, some makers, no, you're staying on the bench for half or 3/4 of the season. So it's but that's our operation. This is why I'm concerned, is that when are we really going to see this player? Because we've seen it before with some of the players with good potential. It takes them time to ease into this team. So I had thought that if it was that critical, we would have already had them by now, and not have to wait until end of the preseason.
But we are not in that position to actually force Chelsea to give us Ziyech a month before, because Chelsea is actually thinking, okay, can I close the deal with Lukaku deal? Or City is thinking, can I close the Harry Kane deal and give Fernand Torres away? Or in the same way, other big clubs like Barcelona, PSG are thinking, is the Messi deal going to be done so I can get rid of Icardi or whatever players they are trying to get rid of, So we are in that position. We need to wait for these big clubs. We need to wait for these big clubs to make their moves, to finish the transfer market, and after get rid of some players. So it can be like this. Like let's say Maldini has had a talk with Chelsea and he's asking for Ziyech, and they are telling them, okay, I will ask the player if he's happy to move to AC Milan on loan for a season. And they ask the player, and the player is saying, "Okay, I'm happy to go to AC Milan." Now it's Chelsea saying to Maldini, the player is happy to move to AC Milan. Now I need to see if I can close my deals about Tammy Abraham, about Lukaku, and I want to buy maybe a wing, so to cover Ziyech or somebody else. I want to see my interest first, and after I'll release Ziyech to you. So it's something like that. So everyone is waiting. We are waiting, and it takes time. When you don't have money, you have to wait. That's the only thing. But the most important thing, we get a good player, not rush. Even if you miss 3 games in Serie A, the first 3 games in Serie A, who cares?
Yeah, and I just want to respond to some of these comments saying that we're not getting this player. I mean, a lot of this reminds me of. Do you remember the Tonali deal of last year, where everyone's saying, "Oh, it's done deal to go to Inter," and he came and he signed for us. So yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, right, anything can happen. It's so fluid at this point.
yeah, and I'll tell you, other teams are buying shit. Other teams are talking. Juventus with Locatelli is talking. A lot of talks. They didn't buy anything at the moment. Inter, they got who is that guy? Hakan. I don't even know his name anymore. They got Hakan for free, and they got rid of 2 key players. And of course, they bought Zeko. But Zeko, for me, Zeko is not half Ibrahimovic. Zeko is a useless player compared to what is Lukaku. So going from Lukaku to Zeko is just going from first position to fifth position. Now the Inter squad for me is top 6. It's not even top 4.
Yeah,
It's
fully
top
agree with
6
you.
if they're lucky. And Lautaro is gonna leave, in my opinion. Lautaro is gonna be like, you know what? You're not gonna renew my contract. You guys are going in for 3 years of difficult financial situation. So I want to go now, and I want to go in a club that plays Champions League probably. So it's not Tottenham or Arsenal. I want a Champions League club. So I'm not surprised. Maybe Chelsea does the double with Lautaro and Lukaku. If they get rid of Timo Werner, I think they can do that easily.
I wouldn't mind the Timo Werner to be loaned to us. To be honest.
Oh man, he's worse than Cruz. What are you talking about?
Really?
I mean, he's
I
really
think
bad.
Bundesliga.
Okay, some people are scared about Lorenzi playing the right wing, so being the second choice or the first choice, like Selemaker. Uh, no, I think Lorenzi is going to be our midfield in January. That people don't realize that Florenzi started his career at Roma as a center midfield, and he is actually a good midfielder. So he can play in that midfield when Kessie and Benacer in Africa are playing the African Cup. So people need to
But
realize that he is gonna play in that position in January and be the second choice or even the first choice in some games to Calabria on the right back. But he's not gonna be a forward.
you raised a very good point, and I was saying this before, even in the previous stream, but on the chat, we are now looking for a CDM due to all this AFCONs happening in January. And one of the things that I didn't like about this preseason, and I don't know why it was experimented, because I thought the purpose of preseason is that all the ideas that we thought but we could never try should be done now. One of the ideas that I had was actually Kalulu to be tried as a CDM, because we've seen Calabria also be deployed as a CDM, which we thought was risky. And I think Kalulu, for his not only for the minutes, but also he has the ability, because he's good at moving into spaces after he does his pass or his dribbles, has that same similar characteristic. I wouldn't call it the same even. So what you mentioned about Florenzi, I think we could do this with our other players as well. And what concerns me a little bit, and maybe this also links back to my purely out, is that why are we not trying players that we have to do what we're buying players from outside to do for us, if that makes sense?
No, I understand what you mean. But for example, I saw Krunic playing in that midfield with Tonali. So probably Krunic is going to be a third option in that position in January. Because if they're not selling Krunic is going to be that player, the jolly, we call it in Italy, that he can play in that position when he's missing player. I've seen even the previous season, Krunic coming in from the bench and playing that position a lot of times. So I believe Krunic, basically, if Pobega is leaving because he wants to play and he talk with Pioli and he talk with the management and says, listen, I want to play. I don't want to stay in the bench this season. So if Pobega is leaving, I feel like Krunic, Tonali, Florenzi, Kessie, and Benacer are our 5 central midfield. Those are and Florenzi can be as a right back. Kalulu can play as a right back as well. We have Balo Touré and how you call it, Theo Hernandez on the left. Centre back we have Gabbia, Romagnoli, Tomori, and Kier. I still think Romagnoli is gonna leave. Plus Kalulu can play that position as well. So in that, I say block of the pitch, we are super covered. If we're gonna buy someone, it's gonna be a good deal, like a loan. Somebody say, "Oh, do you want this guy for loan? Because I'm not doing anything for this season." We're gonna get at the last minute. So I'll buy Kayako or a young kid for 5-6 million, whatever they're gonna find. So we're gonna go for a good deal. So what is missing at the moment is we have Rebic and Leao on the left, Casti and Selemaker on the right. Hopefully, we are trying to put a player that he can actually help Diaz to develop as a number 10 and play as a right wing. And Ziyech is the only player I've seen at the moment that is associated to that type of player. I feel. What do you think? I think is that the only player. Even Odegaard can do that position. I don't know how well, but
yeah, I think the way that we things are going, and I don't know whether this sleeve sponsor has anything to do with getting the funds over the line. We're probably going to have a 2-in-1, so a profile that can play both number 10 and right wing. Somehow, I do feel that number 10 might be more of the priority than right wing, even though our right wing is weaker. For the sense is that for a player like Salmakers to develop further, he needs to continuously play more. And I think this is what's going to happen to all the younger players. And what I really want to see from Pioli, or really for him to have the courage to do, is that when we are up against the lower tier teams, and I know that we've had issues with lower tier teams before, but there also needs to be the courage to say that I will not use my best 11, I will play the younger guys. Because these guys need solid minutes, we need to put trust in them, and they should be at a point now, especially in the case of Tonali, if he really wants to work hard and prove himself, this is the game to do it. No one's going to give you an easy game against a Serie B side, because those guys are, it's not preseason anymore, it's the real thing. And if he wants to consider to be in contention for maybe even being subbed on to a Champions League game, he's going to have to prove it somewhere. So I really do want to see courage from Pioli this season, but if we're going to end up sticking with the same 11 game in and game out like twice a week, guys, injuries is going to be the least of our problems. It's going to be all sorts of mess.
Let me invite some people if somebody wants to get in for the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes of the live. Yeah, it's. I agree with you. I feel like we're gonna get somebody that actually is not gonna be a proper right wing, and he can help Diaz on that number 10 position. And yeah, and you remember the previous season we played some games with Selemakers, Diaz, and Akan on the left.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we need to think that probably next season we can play a lot of games with Krunic on the left, Diaz middle, and on the right a more offensive and more creative player. In this case, Ziyech, or a right wing if we're buying one. So doing the same thing, but on the opposite side, having a more offensive player on the right side instead of the left side, or play with Rebic or Leao. I think it's Leao's time. I think Leao is going to have a great season, especially in games like Champions League games or stuff like that. It's a good moment for them to grow. So I'm really positive with Leao.
Yeah, Leao definitely needs to show it. And I think one of the good indicators would be is that regardless of how he plays, because I know a lot of people have been saying he's lazy. For me, and okay, guys, please respect my opinion here. Being lazy is one thing, but ultimately all I care about is goals and assists. even if he's walking the whole time and he gets an assist somehow, or he only has 2 good clean breaks, I'm all for Liao, by the way, because that's essentially what we need. It's time for results because we really need to cement our place in the top 4 for the coming seasons, and Liao is definitely the person to do it. And if it's not, I think we're gonna have to be harsh on him. Just like for me personally, I'm gonna be harsh on Tonali this season because it's do or die. Okay, we can't slip back into a Europa League spot. I just cannot get my mind around it. We have to fight to stay at least in the Champions League in the top 4.
Are we gonna be in top 4, man? You see what happened to Inter?
Yeah.
Have you seen what happened to Juventus? They got 3 goals from Barcelona, man.
Yeah,
that is insane. I mean, can you see what's going on with the other teams? The only team I'm really scared at a certain point is Atalanta at the end of the thing.
But Atlanta, they lost against West Ham, I think. It was 2-0 or 3-0.
Yeah, they lost 2-0, 3-0, whatever. I don't know. But Atalanta is a team that actually can play football. They're gonna be good, man. They're gonna get really better the next season. But I don't consider a threat now that Lukaku and Hakimi is gone. Inter is not a threat anymore. I don't consider a threat Juventus. I still think Juventus has a lot of issues, and I don't know. It's gonna be fine, man. It's gonna be fine. Tutto Sport is not a reliable source, in my opinion. Anyway, if Ziyech is not gonna happen, somebody else is gonna come in that position, and we still don't know who is that person. So, actually, it can be even Berardi, man. You never know. You never know what's going on here.
Yeah, you have a point. It could be anyone. And I also saw the news. I don't know whether it's a reliable news or not. Is that the guy that we've been watching the past few streams? What's his name? Kvicha, the KK guy from
yeah,
is it? He's apparently going to Ajax. So maybe he's going to disappoint a lot of people in the stream. So these opportunities, they come and go. But if we put trust in Maldini, before deadline day, we're probably going to get someone there who's at least decent. I'm sure Maldini's got Ayo in it, or even Masara.
Oh, bro is going to be devastated with that.
Yeah.
With that guy going to Ajax. I really believe that he's a good player, and he's going to grow a lot at Ajax. He's going to improve a lot playing for Ajax because the school of football they have over there is insane. You grow technically, tactically, you become a better player. So he's going to be an insane player if he goes to Ajax. And I think it's the right team for him. He needs to go to that type of reality. A big team, plays for big trophies, but there is not a lot of pressure, You still can grow as a young player. And we don't have the money, man. We don't have 20 million to spend. We are going for a loan with option to buy. We're not going to pay any penny. We don't have the 5 million for Ilicic. We don't have any money. The only thing we have is a loan with option to buy. As soon as we loan a player and we are sure he can perform with us, and in Serie A, we buy that player. We don't have problem on paying that amount of money. But we're not buying a closed box. We need to see what is in the box.
Yeah, so. And one thing I think is important, and it's about this momentum about this Champions League, is that if we get Champions League the next season and the season after, if it's like 40 million for Chiesa type deal, we have the money then, yeah. So maybe it's a stopgap measure. Say we'll continue this maybe for this coming season and the season afterwards, but after that, I'm sure we will go guns blazing. That vision has to be there somewhere. Because you cannot keep doing this forever. It's just embarrassing.
No. It's gonna be next summer. Next summer we're gonna spend. We're gonna buy players. We're gonna go there. How much you want, we buy them. Even if it's just 20 million player, 15 million player, 30 million player, we're gonna go and buy them. We're gonna be like, okay, I'll buy it. Because let's be honest, in one season, I'm always saying Ziyech, but let's pretend it's Ziyech. But whatever player we put on that right wing, we get that player on loan, and we know that he's actually good, he's actually performing, and we finished top 4 and we did a great Champions League, we're gonna buy that player. And we have Diaz, we are thinking to buy it. So what happened? We have a team basically when you have almost 20, no, 18, 17 sure players that you know they can perform. So now it's time to buy that striker that costs you 40, 50 million. Now it's time to buy that left wing or another number 10 or a second striker. So we're gonna spend next summer because we're gonna be better in a better position. And again, we're gonna get rid of the last four or three garbage players we have because we need to get rid of these players first.
Yeah, and
It's
especially if we do well, what's important is that the value of our players keeps increasing. So some makers, I think what we bought him only for like what, 1 million or something like that. It was really low. So can you imagine selling some makers for like 30? And if opportunity like a Chiesa, I know Chiesa, I keep repeating it a lot because it's a bit of a missed opportunity. But if Chiesa gets into an agreement with Allegri for whatever stupid reason and says like fuck Juventus, I want to leave, then the money's there. Yeah, we'll take him off your hands. Come play with for us.
is Chiesa is still a Fiorentina player, by the way. I just want to tell people.
But I
Just
don't think
want
there's getting between that deal.
he's still a Fiorentina player. Officially, he is a Fiorentina player. I know is the player is gonna stay to Juventus, and Juventus has to pay that amount of money. Or so basically, Juventus what he's doing with Chiesa is the same thing they're doing with Morata. They are they're actually buying the loan slowly. Every year they give 10 million, 5 million, whatever they're giving to Juventus or to Atletico Madrid in this case for Morata. Roy, what do you want to say, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
How's it going,
I'm
Roy?
doing well, man. How are you?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, is this Florenzi thing happening or not? Any new news today?
Oh, wait, let me call Maldini 1 second. I'll tell you.
All right, yeah. Let me know. Let me know.
No, man, it's sure. It's gonna happen. It's happening. It's happening.
It's happening for sure.
Yeah, man. It's not those deals
So,
like Ilicic 99% AC Milan. That is happening for real.
so do you agree with me that Florenzi is a better signing than Messi?
Okay. Listen, no, it's not a better signing than
What?
Messi. It's so unfair. It's so unfair for Florenzi to compare him to Messi. He's a better signing than Dalot, in my opinion, probably.
What?
Is it just
No,
because
it's
he's
not a
What?
wearing
better.
the jersey, Roy?
Laird, what? I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
What are you going to think? By the way, I'm going to come. I'm going to do a short video later about my theory on Florenzi. What do you think if this scenario is going to happen? All right. I'm saying if. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying if. What do you think if Florenzi comes to Milan and Pioli's setup will be this 4-4-1-1 slash 4-2-3-1-1, and Florenzi is going to be basically a better version of Salamakers?
Emergency time, it can happen. I don't see that happening as a starting point. So if there is a
No,
lot
I
of
don't think
injuries,
that'll be
yeah,
a starting point. I think that's what's going to happen. But if that does happen, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? What is your thought on that? Let's say it does happen, and then
I'm
Florenzi
fine. I'm
becomes
fine
the
with that.
starter.
I'm fine with
Florenzi becomes
Florenzi
the
being
starter.
the right forward. I'm fine with that. I think Florenzi is good enough to do that position. I'm happy with that. He has good feet. People don't know that because I remember Florenzi at the age of 20, 21 when he was playing in the midfield. And he has good feet. He has personality. He knows the league. He's aggressive enough and tactically prepared, so he can do that position without any problem. But I don't see him that AC Milan got him for that position. I still believe that Maldini is gonna get a right wing and the number 10 before
So
the end of the
then,
market.
so then I have a question for you, and for
Yeah.
whoever wants to answer. Do you think that Milan can put on the field every Sunday, every Wednesday, a team with all players, with literally 90% of your team that is a forward-thinking team, and only one defensive midfielder, which would be Kessie?
No, I think I don't want to go to the topic of Tonali or whatever, but
No, I'm not
AC
talking
Milan.
about that. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm talking about the two midfielder AC Milan has. They are defensive and forward. They do both the phases because we play so close with each other. The line of defense and the line of attack is so close with each other.
Okay,
So
okay,
we require the
but
two midfielders to do both the two phases. That's why you
okay,
need
no, no.
young and energetic players in that
Hold
position.
on. But we both agree. I think you and I both agree that Kessie and Benacer are going to be the starters, right?
Yeah,
And we both agree that Benacer is not a natural defense. He's more like he doesn't lose the ball. He's a metronome, but he's not that. He's not Gattuso, right? He's not Ambrosini. We can say that Kessie is more Ambrosini or Gattuso, while Benacer is more light. He's not the player that is going to slide in tackles, win the ball, and fight like a maniac. Correct?
yeah.
So, do you think that with the addition of Florenzi and to create balance, Pioli is going to focus on Brahim Diaz? Brahim Diaz is going to be the starter. Brahim Diaz is going to be that creator that we didn't have last year, that you were saying that we needed. Then Leao or Rebic is going to be on the left. You're going to have Ibra on the right, and the balancing act is going to be on the right, and it's still going to be Salamakers and Florenzi.
No, because I think we're gonna buy a player in that position, a more
So you,
creative player.
but how are you going to balance the team? Because what happens? Because you're still going to need a team with that is going to defend, that is going to win the ball, that is going to
Uh,
press, that is going to.
Depend. Well, but we can press without having Florenzi or Selemaker in the pitch. We can do that. We can do that with the quality players. A lot of teams do that with a lot of quality players. So it doesn't matter. It needs
Which
to be a
teams?
young.
Which teams?
Well,
Which teams?
Man City does that. They press with a lot of quality players and they recoup the ball with a lot of quality players. Or, as I say, Bayern Munich does that. I don't want to compare AC Milan to Bayern Munich, but I want to say that if you're playing against Cagliari, you need a lot of creative players because you're gonna have the ball and you have to create and win the game. If you're playing against Juventus or against Inter, you need a more balanced team. So you're gonna put Selemaker instead of the creative player.
Okay, okay, all right.
Again, so
That's a
so
good take.
I'm not uh, completely deleting the idea of putting more physical and more defensive players, but still those defensive or physical players, they need to know how to attack and they need to be ready to attack
All right, all right. So now here comes the
in a
second. Okay, go on.
more raw way than actually a quality player.
All right. So okay, all great takes. So now comes the second part of my theory and why I think this is what's going to happen. Before Çalhanoğlu was being sold, maybe I don't know if you agree with me. I don't think you do, but Pioli wanted to keep Çalhanoğlu, right? And Pioli used Çalhanoğlu as a number 8, pretty much, right? He put him there in the 10, but he was a number 8, right? And
Okay.
Pioli said we needed more creativity, and Pioli's first idea was to get a right winger, right? But after Çalhanoğlu left, I think that now that creativity is going to be the attacking midfielder, Diaz. And the balancing act that Çalhanoğlu was doing is going to move to the right, and it's naturally going to happen with Florenzi. So I think you guys are going to be really disappointed when you're going to see that.
I don't exclude Florenzi playing in that position, but I don't think. Listen, if of course, if we don't buy anyone at the end of the transfer market at the end of August, if we didn't buy any right wing, clearly Florenzi Selemaker is gonna be the option in that position.
And
I
this
don't.
is why I think, yeah, and this is why I think that Ilicic, a player that can play both cam and a right wing, offensive right wing, is the best solution. So Ilicic or Ziyech can come next, but Ilicic is more realistic because Ziyech is more difficult.
Well, they say Ilicic already found a deal with the Atalanta. Is not moving.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There goes that. Well, Ziyech, I
So
think is going to be difficult, but Ziyech might come, yeah, and he's going to be there not so much to replace the right. I don't think we're going to see Leao, Brahim, and Ziyech at the same time. I don't think that's going to happen unless we need to.
Yeah, I don't see it happening as
uh,
well.
well, depends how much effort and work they want to put on in the pitch.
Yeah,
As a
it
thing.
depends on. That's right. It depends on how much they want to work, how much they want to run. Because guys, remember Ancelotti's 2007. What did he do? He sacrificed Gilardino to put Ambrosini and Gattuso. They were the balancing act, and then you had Seedorf, Pirlo, Kaká, and Inzaghi. Three. So you had muscle and offense, and Seedorf was that player that was in between, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, but Seedorf was quite old. Was a 31 years old, 30 years old
Yeah,
player.
exactly, and that's why a few years before, Seedorf was the mezzala, and they didn't need to sacrifice. They
Exactly.
didn't
I
need to
feel like
sacrifice.
with the young players we have right now, and the fact that we play in a different way, which is more like um, attacking the opposition and force them to lose the ball. That is our way of playing. We need players that actually, as soon as we get the ball, we are effective on attacking, and that's
Exactly.
why we need quality. If you have a non-quality player like we have, unfortunately, in a lot of situations, that situation never happen. We never attack properly, and we lose the ball again. I feel like Maldini is gonna buy some quality players in the last 20 days. Get them into the club.
Okay, and I'm making this is my last words. I'm making a prediction. Whether or not they're going to buy quality players, at the end of the day, Florenzi is going to become a starter in AC Milan. Last words. Okay, that was just a theory, man. Just a theory. I'll make a video about it later. Anyway,
Yeah, I
love
don't
you
know
guys.
why a lot of players are not convinced about Florenzi. Florenzi is a proper player for us because he can actually play three different positions in our 4-2-3-1, which is so important to play
Yeah,
three different positions. It's like key for us, especially this year when a lot of people are going to the African Cup. So
right.
it's it's so important. We need that midfielder that actually doesn't need to be a midfielder for the whole season, but just in that month. Because Florenzi that month can play pretty well with Tonali, or who else is gonna play with him, or Tonali and somebody else. We need because it's gonna be 4 games or 5 games we're gonna play. So and
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
What's his
Guys,
no, I think
injury record, by the
sorry.
way? I'm not so sure because he,
That is one of his issues.
yeah.
I don't think he has a bad injury record, and I don't know, man. It's I think it's a good signing. It's a loan, man. We didn't spend
Honestly,
zero money.
you know how much I rate this signing? 10 out of 10. Do you know how much I rate him? Guess.
Yeah, how
Guess.
much?
How
11.
much do how much do you rate him?
I'll rate him 7, man.
7 out of 10. What about you, Skillet? How much do you rate him?
I'm going for a 6.
What?
I'm going for a 6 out of 10 because of the
Six
position.
out of 10. Guys,
Yeah.
I
No, man.
rate this signing 100 out of 10. This is better
Yeah.
than signing Messi, better than signing Neymar, better than signing Mbappe. This is the best signing of the whole culture mercato.
Okay, this
Nah,
is
it's
we're recording this, right?
it's not exactly, and I don't want to hear you, man, saying, "Oh, I was saying that Florenzi wasn't a good signing," and stuff like that. But anyway, no, it's a good signing. I don't know if it's 100 out of 10. I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. And if he doesn't get injured, and it's gonna be a good signing. Let's see, let's see. But
Yes,
who
guys,
is this
this is
guy?
this is a tremendous signing. Tremendous signing.
Well, it's not done yet.
Which
Uh,
guy?
You never know what's going to happen in
Huh?
the last minute.
Yeah, hopefully it happens because it's not confirmed yet. It's not official yet. But if we get this player, man, we will solve a lot of problems. This is a multi-dimensional player. We will solve a lot of problems.
He's a good player, and yeah, let's see, man. What do you think about Pobega going to Cagliari? And I
Is
think
that a factor?
Conte. It's not sure, but there is a lot of talks about Conte and Pobega. One of them is gonna go to Cagliari.
Okay, so Cagliari is a very good place to go. Cagliari is more has a little bit more ambitions than Spezia, so really good place for him to grow even more. But they just need to bring him back. They just need to bring him back because there's really no point in growing these players just to get them because again, I don't want to repeat myself. We don't need another Locatelli. We don't need another Pessina, another Cristante, and the list goes on forever. But Cagliari is a really good place for a player to grow. Competitive team, a team that usually wants to finish in that top 10. Usually they try. That's what they try. So good for him if he goes there. Not so good for us. Maybe
Mm.
good for us in the future, but
Do you
not
think
not.
Pobega, if he were to move to Cagliari, he would start there? Somehow, I think that he wouldn't be a starter in Cagliari.
I
Well,
think he's gonna get that spot. Even if he's not a starter, he's gonna get that spot. He's good.
yeah, I think he's going to get minutes for sure. I mean, Cagliari is not a team that competes for
Because even in
big
Spezia,
cup.
he wasn't a regular starter, by the way.
Yeah, no, but he's going to get enough minutes for him to grow. You know, he's going to be playing alongside Nainggolan. Nainggolan seems like he's going to Cagliari. He's going to be given more responsibilities than he would be given at Milan on the pitch, but not as far as like the prestige of the of what the teams are after. But he's going to get good experience, and then when he's back, finally at 23, that magic year, he can be one of our players.
But that's my
That's
point.
what
If he's not going to get regular minutes in Cagliari, then why not keep him in the squad?
I would keep him in the squad. Yeah, man. I mean, I would definitely keep him in the squad. But obviously, I'm not the one making those choices.
What do you think about Nangolan? A lot of people are saying, "Oh, why does we don't sign him?"
Well,
No.
Nainggolan is a player that, first of all, his training work rate seems to be not the best, from what I am sensing, and I think that's one of the reasons. And also, he just likes Cagliari. I mean, his family is there, his wife is from there. He likes that place. That's where he wants to be. I wouldn't go for Nainggolan. I don't think we need someone more professional than Nainggolan.
I mean, there is a reason why it didn't work for Inter. I think it's not good enough. That's it. End
Yeah,
of the
and
story.
he's been out of the national team, so he's definitely going. His trajectory is in the down spiral right now. He's going
No,
towards
no
the end of
reason.
his. He's going
Yeah,
towards
no
the end.
reason to sign.
Yeah. But yeah, Pobega to Cagliari, not bad. Who else you said might be going? Someone else?
Conte.
Conte. Yeah, if we're getting Florenzi, there's no point of having Conte.
They say they're gonna manage a way to sell him.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. If they get monetize Conte, get rid of his contract money, that load, and use it for maybe the incoming quality that we need up top. Because Milan definitely needs to get a midfielder. If we're getting rid of Pobega, that means that for sure there's a midfielder incoming, an important midfielder probably, which we need. Then they're still wanted. They said they wanted a third striker, a young third striker to rotate in those top three. A cam we need a cam because we can't just have Brahim Diaz. Every position needs to have at least two players. We only have one player for that position, so for sure a cam must be coming. And then the right wing could be and then maybe the right wing, or it could be a right wing and a cam. Since if Castillo stays, I think they're going to go with a cam that can also play right wing. If Castillo leaves, I think they're going to go with a cam and another right wing.
I
Castillo
think
is kind of keeping the team in the hostage.
it's gonna be a crazy 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have still 3 weeks. 3 weeks before the end of the market, because the market finishes at midnight, 31st of August.
Can I
So,
say something? I'm actually curious. The how you call it when you decide the Champions League groups is like
oh yeah,
The draw.
yeah.
the draw. Thank you, Skillet. So basically, I think a lot of teams are waiting for that day to see which teams they're going to play against. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
When
Because
is
it's
it?
that's
gonna.
definitely going to.
I think it's the 26th of August. So my opinion is Chelsea doesn't want to loan a player to AC Milan if they have AC Milan in the same group of Champions League or other big
That's a very
teams.
good take. Yeah.
They don't want to loan a player that actually is in that same group. So they are quite paranoid on these things. For example, Chelsea is sending Tammy Abraham to Roma for 34 million. Even if Tottenham and Arsenal offer more, they don't want to give it to any competitor. They want to go send Tomori as well. They prefer to sell Tomori to 30 million than actually give it to Arsenal or Tottenham for 50 million or 40 million. So probably there is something over there as well. They're waiting for that draw to happen and to see what's going on, how
Yes.
difficult, who they're playing against, and so it's gonna be a long wait, man. Especially the last 2 weeks. It's such a long wait because you're waiting for that name for who is gonna be that right wing or the number 10. And
Yeah.
Are we going to do it
I'll
live?
be. We're gonna do the live. I want to do the live. Definitely, I want to do the live. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
we're definitely
Thursday
doing that.
or Wednesday, something like that. So
Definitely
we're
doing
gonna
the
do the
live.
live, and we're gonna. I don't know if you can show that the draw. I'm gonna put it as low. You know.
Why not?
So
I think it. Why wouldn't be able to show it? Why not?
It's
what
not
TV
copyrighted.
rights? Fucking UEFA. I think it's copyrighted.
Fucking UEFA, man. I'm sure if it was a PSG fan, they would give him no problem.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
because we're Milan, they
We
want
can
to
change the name
copyright
of the
us.
channel for a day.
Right, right.
Call it PSG. I love you, UEFA. We can call the channel for a
PSG, I
day.
love UEFA. I love
You're a
Seferin.
fan.
Oh
Yeah, no,
yeah, some people.
I think no, you put definitely a great point, because that day a lot of teams will understand what the season is going to look like, because it's going to give it's going to project exactly what you're facing and what you will need. So yeah, that last week is going to be insane.
If they let fans back into the stadium, it's going to be packed, I think.
I don't know
50,000
what's going
people.
on.
At the moment, we are allowed 45,000 people. 40,000 people in the stadium. It's not enough, man. Champions League needs a full stadium. Why people needs to get vaccinated in Italy, man? I'm sorry, they need to get rid of that fear. Just go for it, man. We want to see AC Milan.
What's
Oh,
what's
Jesus.
the capacity you said? 50%
50%. So it's 40,000.
for Milan.
That's a lot. It's still
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot.
honestly, that's how much we usually get anyway.
No, in Champions League we get 85,000,
Oh,
man. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, Champions League, yeah, for sure. And the big games, yeah, stadium is always
Big
packed. But on that,
against Spezia, yeah, we get 45,000 normally. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
against the other teams, it's always those kind of numbers anyway.
Sunny day in Milan, Sunday, you get 40,000 people in San Siro. Whoever is playing. The other ones are chilling in the park or having a
Yep.
drink. No one goes to the stadium. Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting 3 weeks, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But
oh,
guys,
that's a good point.
I'm gonna make a video about Florence. I want to see. It's very unpopular opinion. We're gonna see what happens.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna close this live. 2 hours, I think, is a decent amount of time. So even the people who didn't watch the live can actually click and see the 2 hour show, not the 6.5 or 7 hours
Why
show.
not, man? 9 hours. Dude, we did a 9 hour show one day.
That is insane, man.
We have to break that record. We have to go to 10 hours next.
I think
Oh
you got
man,
enough
that is insane.
time to do 24 even.
I want to do that. Eventually, my goal is to have a 24-hour stream, 7 days a week, and have different people moderate it, and just keep it going, keep it going. That's the
It's
goal.
never gonna happen. It's never gonna. 24 hours is a lot.
I'll
if
make
we
it
win,
happen. I'll make it.
I'm sure they're going to get a lot of views, a lot of new subscribers, a lot of things to talk about.
So let's last thing to close the live. What do you guys think? How many subscribers we're gonna have at the end of the season, at the end of the year?
I
We
don't know.
started. I mean, me and Roy, we came in the channel that was 1,000 subscribers. Now we have 2.5. So how many is gonna be at the end of the year? I think the Champions League is gonna give us a big boost. Now 5,000
I think
is impossible.
I think 4.
4,000. No, it's a lot, man. It's really hard. We're not growing at that level.
Guys, if you keep
think,
streaming the games legally, you're going to get like 100,000.
I think all we need to do is stream a game for 50 minutes, then close the live before we get copyrighted, and we'll get 600.
No,
Brigatero Sonari. Dude, I love that. That's beautiful. Bravo,
You know
Carlo.
what?
That's amazing.
You know what? That is our second channel where we're gonna stream the games. We're gonna call it Brigatero Sonari and
Dude,
stream
that
the
is
game.
that's such an awesome name. I love that.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put the thumbnail on our main channel, the Rossonari, and then the thumbnail is gonna say 5 minutes before the game. We're gonna put the link on the description, so you can go and watch the game.
Yeah,
Just subscribe and put the bell so you remember the link. That can be an
we'll
idea.
figure out ways.
You know what I mean?
No,
And send the
we'll
people
figure
the
out ways.
channel.
Yeah, I completely agree with Ollie's take. That'll be the best thing that could happen.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna get more than 3.5 by the end of the season. 3K.
I say 4K.
3.5.
I say 4K. 4K. That's my number. Let's see.
4K would be lovely. 4K would be like a good year, I would say, a great year. 4K at the end of the year, it brings us to hopefully aim for the 10K, and the third year basically is kind of.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I'm working, so I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Love everybody. Ciao, Forza Milan.
Yeah, right.
Ciao, guys. Forza Milan, and we are going as well.
Hey.
And don't forget to subscribe and to follow us. Thank you for the 20 people join us today, and thank you for the people who are going to watch this video. And have a good night or have a good day, whatever you are in the world. Forza Milan.
See ya. Thanks.
See
Bye, everyone.
ya.